So PBUS is an acronym, and it is also the only belay technique we allow at our wall. It's made up of 4 different motions, so P, B, U, and S stand for those 4 motions: pull, break, under, and slide. We are going to start PBUS with our non-dominant hand on the climber side above the device, and our dominant hand on the break side below the device. For first letter, P, pull, we are going to pull down with our non-dominant hand and pull up with our dominant hand. Then we are going to go to B, break. After pulling with your dominant hand up, bring your dominant hand down below the device into the break position. Next we'll go to U, under. While your dominant hand is below the device in the break position, you're going to take your non-dominant hand and bring it under your dominant hand onto the break strand. Next is S for slide. We are now going to slide our dominant hand back up closer to the device, and then we will reset and bring our non-dominant hand above the device. Here we see buddy checks. The climber is checking the belayer setup. So first he checks that the belay device is clipped through the belay loop properly. Next he checks that the carabiner is locked. Then he checks that the belay strand is on the break side and the climber strand is on the climber side. Here we can see belaying in action. As our climber climbs, the belayer is going to be taking out slack, trying to minimize the amount of extra rope that is above the climber. The key to the PBUS break technique is to make sure that you always have one stationary hand on the break side at all times. Here we can see proper lowering technique. Our belayer keeps both hands below the device and lets the rope slowly slide through his hands as the climber lowers down the wall. Here we can see proper technique for catching a fall. As soon as the climber falls off the wall and weights the rope, you can see the belayer move both hands down below the device into the break position to properly control the break strand. Here we can see a take demonstrated. The climber calls out the word take, meaning that he wants all of the slack to be taken out of the system so that he can sit back in his harness and not lower to the ground. We see the belayer working fast to remove all the slack and take out some of the rope stretch as well. You can give small hops to take out more of the rope stretch, but it's not required. But as we see, the climber sits back into his harness and does not sink very far.